Hi everyone, I'm Miss Laura and I'm here this month to recommend some books for you that we have at the library that I think you might like. So first up we have the book See the Cat. And the first thing you might think of when you see this is, wait a second, is this a cat? That's not a cat, right? So this book is a very silly book where the words don't necessarily match up with the picture. So we see the cat and then we see, wait a minute, that's a dog. In fact, it says 3 stories about a dog. So what's going on here? When you open up the book, you'll see that on the right side of the page, you see a sentence, a very simple sentence. So see the cat. But then the dog says, I am not a cat, I am a dog. And the next page says, see the blue cat. And the dog's getting a little bit more confused. He says, I am not blue and I am not a cat. Keep going on. The blue cat is in a green dress and the dog says, I'm not in a green dress. And the cat's name is Baby Cakes. The dog says, what? My name is Max. What are you talking about? And Max the dog is getting so angry that when we see the blue cat in a green dress riding a pink unicorn, he just loses it. There is no cat, there is no dress, there is no unicorn, there is just me, Max the dog. And then it's, oh wait, what's that? Oh, I guess there was a blue cat wearing a green dress riding a pink unicorn. Whoops. So that's just the first story where he realizes, oh, they weren't talking about me. And there's 2 more stories kind of that work that way. I like this because it's got the dual. It's got the simple words that we can learn to read with see the red dog. And then the word bubbles on this side that's more cartoony, that's more graphic novel format. And it continues. This one's called See the Snake. And it continues on. And he goes, here we go again. And the stories are similar, but they do change. There's 3 of them in this book. And what I really like about it is, like I said, on the right side, you do get that more traditional reading, early reader, beginning reader, see the cat, see the blue cat is going to add on. So it's really great for people who are learning to read or who are just reading a little bit more. And then you add on the left and then you get a little bit silly on the right. So even if you wanted to read this with a grown-up and have you read the left side, the short sentences like see the blue cat, and then your grown-up can be the dog being like, wait a second, I'm not a blue cat. And then it gets a little bit more interactive and also just, silly and fun. So that's See the Cat. It's by David LaRochelle and it's illustrated by Mike Wanuka. And that is one available at the library. We can help you find it as well as other books that are similar or, completely different. The next book addresses a very important question. Which is better, pizza or tacos? I don't even know if I have an answer for this. Raise your hand if you're team pizza. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you're team taco. I might be team taco, actually. I do love pizza, this is a hard one. Well, we're going to have to read this book, Pizza and Taco, Who's the Best, to find out who is the best. What this book is a very simple book in kind of a graphic novel form, where you do have panels, but the wording is very simple, so you get to read it kind of in a graphic novel comic format. And then there's other pages that do a little bit different, like pineapple, yuck. Taco's not a fan. That kind of goes back and forth between the 2. Hamburgers in there. They host a poll to see what's better, taco or pizza. And it's just a really silly, fun book about, 2 of the best foods ever, pizzas and tacos. Where can you go wrong? I read the book and I'm still undecided on whether pizza or tacos are best. So this is actually a series. This is the first one, Pizza and Taco, Who's the Best? But there are a couple more, at least one more. There's sure to be a few more coming out about Pizza and Taco, who, they're really good friends. Even though they're arguing over who's the best, they're really good friends. So you can read their adventures and bring yourself to the library to find even more books about pizza and taco or any other food that you could possibly think of. This book is by Stephen Shaskan, and you can find it in, it's actually in our graphic novel section. So it's going to be our kids' graphic novel section. Speaking of graphic novels, I do want to point out one other thing. If you are a kid who likes graphic novels, or you're starting to like graphic novels, we have these new series that have recently been added and specifically been created by the publishers that are actually beginning readers in graphic novel form. So back in the day, you had beginning readers see the cat run, very short sentences, very short pages, and then the pictures match that. So we didn't have as many of the graphic novel formats that you see today. Because of the popularity of graphic novels, they've come out with easy readers graphic novels. So this one's ready to read graphics, and this one's called Nugget and Dog, another food book. And it's going to be easy readers, very simple words for kids who are learning to read or maybe have just started reading and are getting pretty good at it. But it's all in graphic novel form. So if you're someone who likes graphic novels, but maybe you're not quite into some of the older ones yet, this is a great idea. And there are more in the series. So if you look for ready to read graphics, as well as I like to read comics. So this is I like to read comics. It's another series by a different publisher. This is more for the grown-ups. The different publisher that has graphic novel formats to learn to read. So if you're interested in learning to read and you want to read graphic novels, this is two of the series that are really good for that format. And they're pretty new. They're coming out more frequently now. This one's called Frog and Ball. Okay. And then, just for fun, I threw in another book that isn't really necessarily for you to read on your own. So if you are starting to read and you're reading the comics and you're reading the beginning readers and you're reading, maybe you're into some chapter books, that is really, really fun. This book is also going to be a fun one for you guys, but it's not necessarily for you to read yourself. This book is more like if your teacher or your grown-up wanted to read it. It's called First Day of Unicorn School. Of course, you are more than welcome to read it yourself on your own, but it's definitely a good book for reading with a grown-up. It is about a unicorn school, a very prestigious, fancy unicorn school, a very fancy one, and a little, let's say, well, let's just say she's a donkey. So there's Millie, who is a donkey, who's trying to get into unicorn school. Well, donkeys aren't unicorns, right? So what she has to do is tell a little bit of a fib. And what she does is she sends a picture of herself wearing a party hat. So she looks like she has a horn. And she sends it in with her application saying, I'm a unicorn. I want to go to unicorn school. And you know what? She gets into unicorn school. So she has to go to unicorn school and pretend she's a unicorn. And she runs into all these silly characters who, you know what? They don't look like unicorns very much either. There's, a cow wearing an ice cream cone. And, here's a goat wearing a plunger. And all sorts of silly animals trying to get into unicorn school too. So he's not alone in his pursuit, in his dream to go to unicorn school. All the animals want to go to unicorn school. And so they all try their best to put on traffic cones and pencils to make themselves look like they have horns. It's a really silly book called First Day of Unicorn School, and I encourage you to read it if you like unicorns, if you like to laugh, if you just want to have a good book to read. We have this at the library too, so don't forget to stop by and pick up some books. We have these books, we have other books, and I hope that you enjoy reading them.